Hey, happy Wednesday. My goodness, usually it's like Monday we have a show, Friday we have a show. I'm all confused. Amy Siriego, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, my friend. How are you today?
Happy Wednesday, Curt. I'm good. I'm happy the sun is actually back after a
Well, the
week of
sun is back. It's beautiful fall. We got a few days left of September. It's fall. It's like baseball, football, leaves are turning. Wonderful time of year. And we have just delightful, amazing guests on stage with us today. So let's get some introductions going. So let's go to the great city of Chicago. And I'm going to start with our dear friends at Pedoc Power Solutions. We have Melinda Marks and we have Marlene Palmer. Guys, good morning. How
Good
are
morning.
you? How's
Hello.
Chicago today?
A little gloomy, but otherwise great. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. So, I think the Cubbies are hanging in there, right? Are they still flirting
Yesterday was disappointing, Curt. Very disappointing.
All right. Well, you know what? Shame on me. I should have checked that last night before I got on the call because I know they were on that. They were. All right. So we'll change the subject. So, and we won't talk about the Bears because they're that.
Oh yeah.
Geez, I'm like, we're going downhill really quick here. Kevin, let's go to Northeast Ohio. What's going on in Northeast? Kevin Dickey from CurrentSAFE. How the Indians, the Browns, anything going on there? What do we got, Kevin?
We're always hopeful.
We're always hopeful. Yeah, no matter what time of year, it's always like we're always hopeful.
We're always hopeful. We've never been able to get the elusive Browns get a Super Bowl trophy, but one day we're gonna have one.
One of these years.
Someday, yes.
That's one of these years. So, all right. So let's dig in. I want to first off thank everybody for being here and for joining us. Hey, we got John Buglino here. John, happy Wednesday to you, my friend. Guys out there, drop us a note. Let us know that you're there. We'd love for you to connect with our fine friends here on stage today. We're going to have a deep dive conversation. We have a made in USA manufacturer just doing incredible work with Pedoc Power Solutions. So Marlene, Melinda, let's start with you. Who is Pedoc Power Solutions? Can you start there? Let's hear about what's going on at you guys. How are you making the world a better place?
Well, thank you, Curt. We're so happy to be here today. Pedoc Power Solutions is a U.S.-based manufacturer of power pedestals. We are highly quality-oriented. We're big on safety, big on durability. And I can go on and on about all the wonderful things we are, but let me tell you how nice it is for us to engage with folks like Kevin and his team at CurrentSAFE, who can really speak to the electrical safety element of our product. So Kevin, thank you very much for joining us today. We're excited to hear what you have to say about our product.
Sure.
Backing up to what we are and what we do, our power pedestals are used throughout the United States in locations such as parks and streetscapes, business and school campuses. We are manufactured in not Chicago, Curt, but Mount Prospect, Illinois, entirely US-based manufacturing and sourcing. We were started back in the early 1990s. It was an electrician that had the idea for our product line. He, with his decades of experience in the field, was tired of stubbing up conduit and attaching power to wooden posts and then putting plastic covers on it. He knew that it wasn't safe, it wasn't durable. He knew he'd be back in a few years making repairs. So he came up with the idea for creating more of a utility pedestal that would just be highly durable and highly safe. So he, though, needed a partner to help him implement his product design, and that's where we came into play originally. Our parent company is a precision metal fabricator, and it was a team effort between Pedoc and our parent company that allowed us to help him develop the product line. And then throughout the years, he elaborated on the line, improvements were made, but eventually he decided he wanted to retire. So in 2009, we had the opportunity to acquire the Pedoc line and took full advantage. We're so happy we did. It's a product that we believe so strongly in. It makes us feel good about it, knowing we're putting out American-made, durable products that people need. I feel like it's just been a real winner for us. So we're excited to be here today to talk more about it and hear what folks like Kevin have to say about us, because they're the ones with the expertise and the know-how. And Kevin, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Well, you know what? A couple of things I want to unpack, right? How about maybe we need to get a little USA chant going right now.
Yeah, okay.
Ready? Like, how about on 3? We'll get a little USA. Ready? On 1, 2, 3. USA. USA.
Yes.
USA. So you know what? Women business owned. And I know, and guys, if you want to get the real origin story, we have a live stream that Nicole and I did on site with Marlene and Melinda. And we hear about how the ladies here, believe it or not, like, you guys, how are you guys connected again, Melinda?
We are sisters.
They're sisters. That's right. They are sisters. And so they go back a ways and grew up in the business and took over for dad. It's a wonderful, amazing origin story. If you want to catch it, catch our replay. And I love what you're saying, Marlene. Made in USA. Love the product. I'm going to come back to you because we don't want to pull Kevin on stage, but I want to hold this thought. I want to talk about that custom manufacturer going into like carrying that proprietary product, because a lot of our folks that come on the show, they're like, hey, we're those custom manufacturers. But Kevin, let's slide down to you. And Marlene, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. But CurrentSAFE, love the name. You are a repeat offender, dude. You've been on the program before. We are friends that go back a ways. I've had an intimate front row seat of what's going on with your company. Love working with you, your team, the organizations that are underneath your umbrella. Curious minds want to know, Kevin, who and what is CurrentSAFE?
Well, first of all, Curt, thanks for having me on again today, and I sure appreciate the opportunity. CurrentSAFE is a group of electrical contractors that provide a level of service that just your average electrical contractor does not necessarily provide. We've decided to step up our game and provide services much more detailed for companies to keep their facilities operating, reduce their risks of emergency service and repairs, to keep within all the codes and compliances that change all the time, which are recent in the commercial industrial world. And we also have a group that we test homes for homeowners, and we work a lot with insurance companies to ensure that once a home maybe had a lightning strike or water damage, that they're fully back to the way the electric was put in on the day it was installed, and the homeowners are safe. So we're a big company about safety too. And so we've got 16 company electrical contractors across the United States that we work with right now, and they're part of the CurrentSAFE umbrella. And we're fortunate enough to meet a lot of good manufacturers, and happy to be on this session today with the Pedoc product.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. We're going to take a deeper dive into CurrentSAFE and how you guys make the world a better place. And a big shout out to your team. I know your family's involved, your wife, your son, Sharon, a bunch of folks that I've met, and I've met a number of your dealers, your franchisees, if you will, or folks on your umbrella, as you mentioned. And I love what you're saying. Like, you provide a great service for manufacturers. And again, our manufacturing friends, Marlene, Melinda, you are the backbone of the American economy. We applaud you. We salute you. We thank you for the jobs that you create, the wonderful products that you produce. And Kevin, love your service, because what you do is you come in and help these manufacturers keep the wheels turning, keep the machines running, keep everybody in a safe place. Boy, safety is just number one. Marlene, let's come back. You mentioned before, like, hey, we're a precision manufacturer, custom manufacturer, and boy, you took on a proprietary product. Talk a little bit about, like, what's that transition been like? How is it been exciting having a proprietary product? Is it a new challenge? What's that like going from custom to having that proprietary product on your side?
We absolutely love it, Curt. It's been a game changer for us. When you're that invested in something, when you really have a say in what you can put out there, when you're not at the mercy of a customer saying, hey, we think, this would look good, and we've got different ideas, we can really just implement on a dime. We know we're going to put the quality in where it needs to be. We have a dedicated staff. We're confident in it. And we just feel really, really good about the product itself. So it's just been a really wonderful journey for us over the years. And it's something that it's a daily conversation for us. What are we going to do next? Where do we want to take this? How are we going to make it better? Who else can we market to? It's opened up a whole new world to us. It's been exciting, and just want to keep it going.
Yeah, I love it. Melinda, let's get you in the game here. So from a marketing standpoint, talk a little bit about, the difference of like, the custom manufacturer where like, you're always like, hey, we're going to make something for somebody else. We're trying to create those relationships versus, or compared to marketing, the marketing side of that proprietary product, that one unit, the power pedestals. Talk a little bit about like how you tackle things from your marketing standpoint.
Sure, happy to. So on the parent company side, Marcrest Metalworks, it is totally different than Pedoc, having our own product line. For Marcrest, a majority of our customer base are coming to us. They're looking for something specific. And so it's not really an outbound marketing push so much as compared to the Pedoc product line. So the Pedoc, as Marlene said, the Pedoc line is something we're very proud of. We have had tremendous feedback, positive feedback out there. We have repeat customers. And so we know that once people know about our product, they want it and they're going to love it. So that's the difference for us, is really pushing it, getting our name out there. Now learning about the whole e-commerce side, which on the custom metal fabricating side, that's not an avenue for us. But so on this side, we've been starting to develop things like that online configurator that you're going to help us out with, Curt, right?
Absolutely.
And purchasing even UPC codes. We've recently done that. And so this is a new venture. This is where we think it's going to take us to the next level. Right now, I feel like it's been a lot of preparing for this, getting our systems in place internally, and getting the external things like marketing, the website, foundation of it for the next phase, which we see going towards e-commerce.
Yeah, I love that. So, all right, Kevin, let's slide you back in the program here. So, CurrentSAFE, you do an amazing job of providing safety services. You work through electrical contractors. Let's hit a couple fold, and then we're going to take a deep dive into like the safety solutions that are offered here with Pedoc. But let's talk a little bit like, for manufacturer out there, just touch a little bit of like, when you or one of your teammates from your network of 16 contractors working with a manufacturer, what are some of the things that you do from internally or the inside of the manufacturing unit? And then we're going to talk about some of these outdoor solutions that Pedoc has.
Sure. One of the things we must do is, as the representative for these companies, is to provide them good feedback and solid information on products. And it's something that we have time to research the market a little better than some of our contractors who are busy running around fixing electrical things. So when we decide to promote a product, we do some research and we make sure that it is a good product. We don't just jump in with any manufacturer that says they have a great product. We've done some research on this product. But let's start back with who we want to work with, first of all, right? We do have a choice in this world to work with people, but so I would say the people. And I think you can see with Melinda and Marlene, they're family, they're people. We're a family business. A lot of us electrical contractors are all family business. We're working throughout the United States. We're a U.S. product, and that's very important to start with. I think if you're going to move forward and promote a product and work with a product and install a product, knowing the people you're working with, and there you are right there, and knowing that you're local, you can, to us in the United States, we can reach you and we can get the product. I think that's very important to us when we make a determination. The product itself is absolutely easy to promote because of the quality, I would say, of the product and some of the features on the product I'm sure we'll talk about that really make it, it's a no-brainer for an electrical contractor to choose this product. So I ordered one the other day and landed in 3 days.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, How cool is that, right? Just in
Right.
time for a little Oktoberfest. So, all right, so let's slide over. Oh, you got it right there. Well, you know what? And we're going to be showing some fun examples. Let's take a look at that bad man. Look at that thing.
There it is.
There. All right. So we're gonna do a deep dive in that. So Amy, let's get you in the game here. So just to introduce Amy to everybody, Amy is part of Nicole Donnelly's DMG marketing team. And Amy, you are a marketing guru. I know you've been working closely with Melinda here. I know you want to dig in here. You love new, exciting, cutting edge things. And so you just love this project. I know you've got a couple burning questions for everybody here. Let's lay them out there. What do you got?
Yeah. We can start with Marlene and Melinda and then jump down to Kevin. And I would love to know how both of your companies approach innovation to ensure that continual improvement of electrical safety for your customers.
I'll let you answer that one.
So as Kevin mentioned earlier, there are a lot of codes and regulations to keep up with, and that's true in any industry. And so also true when we think about our products and what we need them to, how we need them to perform in order to be in compliance with those regulations. And so we're always, we're staying abreast of what those regulations are and making sure that we're in compliance. And the biggest component for us in terms of that would be our quality control. And one of the things that we find is very important to users out there is that they have a pedestal that they know is going to be safe, that they know that their electrical components are going to stay safe regardless of the weather or any other outdoor conditions. And so having a UL listing, having our products with a UL listing is first and foremost important. In terms of other innovations, we just recently had feedback. We're always listening to customer feedback. We had feedback from some customers. They love our pedestals, but they wish, and this one in particular wished that it didn't have this round base. And I'll actually show you what I mean here if you don't mind. But this is an example of a pedestal that is mounted to concrete, and you can see there are anchor bolt hole openings there. And so he loved the designs of the product, but he wished that he had something that could sit flush against a wall. So as you can see now, this back of the base does not allow for that. So we quickly ran with that idea, and our engineers came back with some design options, and happy to have released this new product line about 6 months ago, I think it was now.
Yeah.
And so as you can see here, this is a built-in stainless steel cover. So this will allow the cover to open and be in use while sitting flush. All of the mounting is internal. So Marlene, do you want to speak to
innovations like that? Constantly listening to customers and trying to make improvements where we can, make things better, simpler, easier. We recently had another customer that wanted a different configuration for his 50 amp plug. So we're just in the process of updating our catalog with our new receptacle mounting plate that will allow for a different type of plug to be used for the higher amperages. So it's those kinds of innovations that we're always trying to do our best to keep abreast of, like Melinda said, and just keep it going, keep customers happy and keep the offerings coming.
Well, I love, and this is what makes manufacturing just so inspiring. It's why Amy and I just love our jobs, what we do, working with manufacturers like you two. So a couple of things I want to unpack, real quick is number one, listening to the customer. Boy, if for young entrepreneurs out there, if you want one little golden nugget of advice, boy, just listen to that customer. Number one. Number two, we keep talking about made in USA, the innovation here. And a big thing is all right. So how about a little confession here, Kevin? And Marlene, have you ever made a mistake in your career? Kevin, have you ever? I've made a couple
Yes.
like in the past 10 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
I own a little company. We had an electrical product, and guess what? I did not have a UL listing, and what a total disaster that was. And so I own it. So I love that you're talking about the compliance. And so Kevin, let's slide back down to you. Amy, you were asking about innovation. Let's talk about like that innovation side for you, Kevin, at CurrentSAFE. Just from your CurrentSAFE side, or when you're seeking out products like Pedoc, how important is that to you on that innovative side?
Oh, it's very important. Of course, we like to be on the cutting edge, on the latest and greatest opportunities for our customers. Know all of the latest and greatest safety codes, and be sure that we put in good quality equipment. Like you say, we've made that mistake of purchasing the low end piece and come back to definitely hurt us. But we look for a quality product, and we're constantly talking to our customers too. And our customers could either be electrical contractors or the end user, the homeowner or the business owner. And that's how we try to stay on top of the game. And of course, a lot of educating yourself. I'm sure we all have to do a lot of education in the background to understand any changes in knowledge. So that's pretty much how we stay innovative. But I will have to say it does come from most of the feedback in the field or from customers that you're really able to provide the right product for the customer.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? And we're going to dig into like safety, and we have a couple of fun examples we're going to show everybody. But Marlene, I'm going to come back to like I'm sorry to hammer it, but it is so important for manufacturers because I'm not sure what the exact percentage of OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, that do have that finished good proprietary product. And you've tipped your toe into both. Came from the custom side into proprietary side. On that proprietary side, now you get scalability. Now you can like your engineering, you're working on the same product, the same process. You can really nail it, and now you can start to scale it, right? How exciting has that been for you? We're like now, like when customer comes to you, it's always something new, something different, a new drawing, a new process. Does this fit what we do? Talk a little bit about like how can you scale up with the Pedoc line?
We can scale up in many ways. One of the big ones is though just scaling up to reach different markets. So throughout the day, we get a number of emails from different landscape architects or other specifiers, and they're telling us where they are thinking of using our products. And we shake our heads. We're like, wow, we never thought of that. So, we've got our pedestals now going into pickleball courts.
Oh, do
they're charging golf cart stations,
batting cages.
I mean, every day we're like, wow, we've got markets that we hadn't even considered.
Yeah.
So that's really been exciting. And then, people are always asking, can we add a cutout? Can we choose our own color? What if we want to have a university color on our pedestals? And absolutely, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So the more you can offer, the more that people, the more enticing it is to people. So it's really been fun.
I love it. And I just drove by there's a pickleball court like down the street a ways, and it was like jam packed. It's like 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, and like there were cars everywhere, people everywhere, and I totally could see like they are such addicts when it comes to pickleball that they need these pedestals running 24/7. So I absolutely love that. And again, we're going to show a couple examples here. Kevin, do you want to show the example that you got? Not the ugly one. We'll get to that one second, but we're going to show the actual Pedoc. And I know Marlene, Melinda, you have a bunch right behind you.
Yes.
So, Kevin, what's your takeaway? I know you were familiar with this product before meeting our friends here at Pedoc, but what's your takeaway on this product here?
I guess right off the bat, I mean, it's an outdoor product, and you can feel the weight, and you can feel how strong and sturdy the product is. There's no question about it. It's very strong and sturdy. I like the features on it personally, how it had tamper-proof screws in there for the covers. So you could put it basically anywhere, and you don't have to worry about the people getting into it. Yeah. As an electrician, we worry about installation. Products cost the same, but a lot of our installations, our money is made if we can put it in economically a little quicker than what we estimated it at. And but generally we're fixed on products for the price that they are. So when you think about how easy this is to install, how much room there is for us to put our electrical wiring in. I think all you have to do is 2 screws. You pull this cover off. You can install your outlets there. I love the ideas of multiple different styles. I can see EV chargers definitely being at businesses and homes, an outlet for them. I think, you're looking at things that will rust or wear out. This is a great paint powder coating on this, very quality materials. So it's honestly, I must say, as an electrical contractor, I'm looking how fast I can install it, how it's going to look. Is my customer going to like the final product? And I believe really this is the way to go. And the applications for these are endless that I see. We work in a lot of commercial industrial facilities that have beautiful courtyards, and they want to have Christmas lighting outside. Well, many people do the wooden post.
Yeah.
And the lawnmowers go by it and bust the covers off of them, and people misuse them. And you're not going to bust this off.
No.
I have a problem with this product. So as far as electrical contractors, some of the things we're looking for: ease to install, a product that's going to last, a customer that's going to be happy. I feel it hits check marks every one of those right out of the bat, right off the bat.
Could I interrupt for 1 second? Because I'd like to add to that, Kevin.
Yep.
So, earlier in this conversation, I told you that the product line was actually developed by an electrician. And exactly what you're saying, he's like, it's got to be easy for electricians to install. And he was adamant that, there had to be enough room at the base to run up all of their wiring, everything. He wanted to make sure that once these got out in the field, people weren't frustrated by them. And the entire line is designed for ease of installation. And that was at his insistence. So I'm happy to hear you mention that, and good to hear it from someone else.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, well, I'm happy it was an electrician. We are pretty smart.
That's right, Kev. And Kev, and by the way, he's got his Cleveland Brown sticker that he's going to put right on there, right, Kevin? Right on that. Yeah, our friends from Chicago don't mind. You can put your Brown sticker all over it. Kevin, I think you have a picture there handy. Let's take a look of maybe what not to do. Can we take a look at what you have there?
This would be what you're going to find all over everywhere. You're going to find someone who stuck an outlet on a post. The cover ends up getting broken off, right? And the piping gets smashed, or something from a lawnmower, or some type of a yard object, and you end up with a mess. And you go back, and we use plastic pipe outside, so of course they do get damaged. And in our cold weather, they're more susceptible to damage. So when you have something that rigid, all of the parts that could be damaged are hidden. They're all behind the scenes. I look at your cover, and how the cover's not something that we have to take off, lay on the ground, put the outlets together, put the cover back on, lose the screws, parts like that. Those are very good little things that you have in your product that and rather having multiple pieces that we've got to put together and everything. I think it's that is, one other thing I must say is the ones that are direct buried in the ground. I think you've got all the options we need, whether we're putting them on a wooden deck, whether we're putting them on concrete, or whether we're just directly putting them into the ground themselves. I mean, you could make a nice little concrete pad for them and anchor them to the pad out in the middle of the yard. I mean, there's so many options for installation to do. But that direct burial really is good and easy.
So this is an attempt to be Vanna White here. As I'm doing that, I'm having a little trouble. But Kevin mentioned the direct bury model, and this thing is actually really, really heavy. It's 42 inches long. But it's designed exactly for that. Kevin, you mentioned like ground conditions and, shifting ground conditions, especially out here, the freeze and thaw cycles.
Right.
So the rigidity is very, very important. And so one of the things that it also features is this removable access panel. I've taken it off right now, but here's another unit that actually has it on. So when you're running your wiring through, you can place this right over the conduit, run your wires up, and like you said, just take off the little plate here, terminate your wires and put in your receptacles, and you're good to go.
And it's weather resistance.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's one of the big features too. We don't have to worry about those things for our customers and our homeowners and our business owners. I think that's a very important feature there too. But you see the damage that the normal installations we've all been used to in the electrical world are a 4x4 wooden post, because it's treated and it should last, forever, right? But it lasts for 15 years or 10 years in our weather. But I think the biggest reason why people would want to use them and why we would recommend to our customer is the life. They're going to be there for a long time. They're always going to look nice. The wood's not going to twist and rot. The pipe's not going to get broken. The cover's not going to come off. So I really think aesthetically, I certainly find them to be really aesthetically pleasing, and I believe it should be the wave of the future for all outdoor outlets for people. We can ground this, which is important. We can actually ground these posts into the ground, which is another safety feature that a lot of, just a wooden post, you may not do that with that. You'll just stick it on there. So a lot of good features that I would see that's a real benefit. So good job.
So when I looked at that photo that you held up, Kevin, it kind of brought me back to the reason that we wanted to acquire the product line. It's because as soon as we saw what this electrician had proposed, we were like, yeah, that's a problem we can solve. And we all know what that problem is. Every time you walk down a city street, you're looking at conduit that's just sticking out of a grate with a broken cover. And it's really kind of ugly. It's unsafe. And we knew that we could represent a product that could really solve a problem and look good. And we knew we could do a good job at it. We knew we could put a quality product out there. And we were just really excited and gratified to have the opportunity to have a product like that under our belts.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And so a couple of takeaways in that whole segment right there. Number one, Melinda, Vanna White. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Mike, Amy, you might have to Google that one. Do you know Vanna White?
Yes, come on.
Just checking, Amy. So I was just checking. So I love the Vanna White comment. But if you guys can you guys see my screen? I've got a little before and after pulled up here. And you're making so many great points here. The UL listing, the safety, at that, what we're looking at right there, a child could walk up and pop something in there. I mean, it's just it's Kevin, that's got to be nails on a chalkboard for you, dude. Like, just watch. Like, you're just like cringing, like, oh, it like violates everything that CurrentSAFE stands for. Right? Looking at these types of things, and that's when when you walk into a manufacturer, and again, like our manufacturing friends out there, if you're like, geez, I didn't think about my electrical safety. These are the types of things that you're looking for, whether it's outside, inside. But this is what you and your team are really attacking on a daily basis, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, Amy, Amy, are you having a great time or what? Is this just she's just like, she's quiet but carries a big stick. Don't let her fool you. She
does, yes.
She is a fireball. Amy, do you have another question for our team? I know we've covered a lot of features, benefits here. Do you want to get into some other factors? What's your next question here?
Yeah. We can talk about maybe what are some common electrical safety problems and how to avoid them. I know you talked about the wooden structures and having them exposed like that, but are there other things that you run into that people can be on the lookout for?
Mm-hmm. So primarily outdoor equipment, we're worried about people getting shocked. There's water, there's different atmospheric temperature or circumstances that can create moisture in electrical systems, and that's just no good at all. And what will happen is some of these 4x4 installations will lose a ground at times and will not be able to trip maybe a GFI outlet properly. And that's very important to us, to be able to ground the equipment properly so that it won't come off in a couple of years for some unknown reason. And that's really the number one safety feature we have to look for our customers. is shock hazard when it comes to this. Other types of electrical equipment, we really worry about fire hazard. You know, we worry about electric panels catching on fire, outlets catching on fire. But on this, we're going to be safety. And I would say, you know, the rigidity of it again. You can knock these other things over. Wires can come pulled off, and you don't know it because they're all hidden within the equipment. And those are the type of things why we would recommend that our customers put something more solid, rigid, long life piece of equipment in there that we can actually be comfortable about installing. So,
and I thank you for mentioning that too. We specifically chose a heavy stainless steel material. There are some pedestals out there in the market that are made of plastic. So we all know that fire and plastic don't mix well.
They don't play well together, do they?
Yeah, no. So we've got a product. It is stainless steel, and as you mentioned earlier, it's heavy. It's a 14 gauge stainless steel with even a heavier base on the bottom. So super rigid. It's completely welded. It's not a panel construction. You're not going to have screws or other fasteners popping off and causing damage potentially to the inside components.
Yeah, definitely a lot of thought was put into building that, and I'm very satisfied with it. I'm very happy to have that product. And I do believe there are electrical contractors watching. You know, what would it hurt showing your customer this? Because I truly believe the majority of your customers would say, wow, that would be much nicer than this other thing you're going to install with a piece of wood and some plastic pipe or outdoor pipe. So I would encourage anyone to at least let's get this thing out there. And who doesn't want something that looks nice like that in their yard compared to just a standard outlet?
So I'm going off script a little bit. I'm going to dive into that entrepreneurial leap of faith. You know, sometimes you call it gut instinct, women's intuition, whatever you want to call it. It's like, hey, there's a fork in the road. What should I do? So Kevin, you have one. Marlene, you have one. I'm going to take everybody back in time. It's 2009. I don't know about you guys, but I think there was like a little economic thing going on in 2009, just a little bit, right? So Marlene, can you walk us through entrepreneurs were faced with like tough decisions on a daily basis? Should I or shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Should I do this or should I do that? Should I invest in this? Should I not invest in that? Right? When this came on your plate in 2009, if you can go back, 14 years ago, was it a big risk? Was it a big, was it a no-brainer? Like, what was that thought process or the decision process to go this direction?
100% no-brainer.
No, love it. Oh, good.
100% no-brainer. It just felt like
it just felt good.
It was a dream. It was a perfect fit for us. I mean, it's what we're good. It was our core competency is metal fabrications, but our strengths are putting out quality products and durable products. And it was something we understood. I mean, you look at our pedestals, you get the sense of, wow, yeah, that's something I didn't know I needed. And it was just exciting, no hesitation whatsoever.
Awesome. Well, that is so inspiring. Absolutely. It's like your kids, right? It's like this, like now you have that product as opposed to like you're always making something for someone else, which is fantastic, right? It's a big bulk of your business, but having those, and by the way, so I had the privilege, the honor, Nicole and I sat in that very office where Melinda and Marlene are. And now as you're facing Melinda and Marlene over to the right, the day that I showed up, man, it was like all these guys that walked off the cover of B2 magazine. So like, apparently you've got to be like a strikingly handsome young college guy to work for Pedoc. I certainly didn't qualify, but man, you have, and I was somebody related to, was there another relative there, Marlene, by any chance?
One of those was my son.
Yeah. Man, I'm like, thank God my daughter's not with, because so you have a beautiful family, and it was just such a privilege to be there. Kevin, speaking of family, I just, you were on the show, guys. I encourage you, go back and catch the program with Kevin. You took Nicole and I through a deep dive on safety, and just quickly share with Melinda and Marlene. Maybe we did offline, but just share with the folks here today. You have a really cool entrepreneurial story on how you took that leap of faith. Can you just share how the brainchild and how CurrentSAFE came to life?
Sure. I had an idea. Nobody did the idea before. And it was very deep involved testing on electrical systems in homes. And I had went to my family business where we had an electrical business, and I showed them my great idea, and they came back, and I had a beautiful pro forma with costs and marketing and everything. So I came back to them and I said, hey, I've got a great idea. Let's do this. And they came and said, well, we don't know if that'll work. And we don't really, this is going to cost some money to invest in all of this and this products and everything. It was very, very disappointing, but my heart was in it. I had believed in it. I had the faith. And if I didn't have the faith, I was given the faith. About a week later, I went home from work and my TV was on in the third floor. And I questioned my wife if she had left the TV on, of course. And she said, no, she wasn't up there. And then a couple of days later, my TV was on the third floor, and I accused her of it, and that didn't go over too well. She said, no, I didn't. So I started thinking maybe it was a dog, maybe it was a cat. Right? But all in all, it was the faith leap. At 2:00 in the morning with 5 children under the age of 18 in the house, my outlet in my room upstairs caught on fire. And I had an electrical fire in my house as I was building a business, but stopped. I hesitated and said, well, let me rethink this. But I do remember my wife sitting there at 3:00 in the morning after all of it was over and said to me, do you think that's the sign we should go into business?
There you go.
That's a great
Not a
story.
leap of faith.
Wow.
So we left a very large business, a great family business, started our own thing. And thanks to the good Lord, we are here today, almost 20 years later, and we have a great business going and been successful.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's a wonderful story.
I love that story. So Kevin, thank you. I tell you, dude, you're just such an inspiration. I just love that story. Thank you for sharing that. And you talk about I mean, think about that. A guy that's an electrical, a contractor is thinking about creating a electrical safety business. And, if you're looking for hey, what's that little nudge? What should I do? Well, how about a fire at 3 a.m?
Right.
That's, boy, if that's not a sign, what is, Kevin? So dude, thank you. Congratulations to you, your family, what you've done for the past 20 years. Amy, let's get back you in here. And Amy, hey, I'm going to round of applause for Amy. She just launched her own business like yesterday.
Wow.
LLC, and so she's such an inspiration. Amy, congratulations to you. It's an honor working with you. What's your next question? You have another question for the team here?
Yeah. We can talk about how you educate your customers. So I know we've talked about how you listen to them and take their feedback, which is super important. And then what about from the opposite way? Maybe someone doesn't know they needed a power pedestal. How do you educate them so they know?
Great question.
Yeah. So we, as you know, are located just outside of Chicago. When I say we, our sales, support, our production facility, engineering, we're all here. And we are here to pick up the phone, read your emails. You can always reach us. So that's huge. You have a live person to talk with. And oftentimes people don't know exactly what they need. And so it is an educational process. It starts with uncovering their needs. What is it that you are looking to do? What's your application? They might say, well, we're looking to put in to protect some outdoor power at a food truck festival area where they have just the typical conduit stubbed up or maybe the wooden post. And so, okay, well, what kind of equipment are you looking to power? Do you need just, 15, 20 amp, or do you, need something a little higher than that? And so those two questions right off the bat are going to give us an idea of, we're going to be able to narrow it down a little more. And from there, what kind of setting will you need to mount these to concrete, or is it a direct bury application? If so, what are the outdoor conditions like? Can you bury 24-inch deep? Things like that, that a lot of people who know they need something to protect outdoor wiring and components, but they just don't know which one or how, or which one's best suited for their specific needs. So we will gladly walk through that process with folks and help them. And it's, to all of our benefit, to theirs and to ours. They're getting the right product, but they're also using us again over and over. So a lot of times those calls are from landscape architects, designers who really aren't familiar with the electrical world, but they're very familiar with aesthetics. And so they want something that is going to look nice out there, but also perform over time. So it's great. So education is a big piece of it, especially amongst designers.
Well, that's fantastic. And I'll tell you, guys, it's funny, what they say, like if you buy a certain car, then all of a sudden, like everybody has that car. There's like a psychological term for it, like you buy a shirt and everybody's wearing that same shirt or whatever. But as when Nicole and I came out to visit you guys this summer, like I was very aware of like looking at outlets now, like all of a sudden,
Laser focus.
It was never on my radar. Now, like I was at my daughter and I went to an outdoor festival and I'm like, look at these food trucks. I'm like, I don't know if I like those outlets over there,
Yeah.
now, like you become like hugely aware of this. We're going to look at a couple examples because you guys have your products all over the place. I'm going to show some pictures there. Kevin, I had the honor privilege. You and I came together through the Small Business Development Center in Youngstown, Ohio. Talk about educating entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur out there, you need help, you reach out to your local SBDC, Small Business Development Center, or came together with our friends at Pedoc through the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. I'm throwing a lot of acronyms, a lot of economic, these are economic developers that are behind entrepreneurs all the way. Kevin, you do an amazing job educating, like with your contractors, with your team. Just go touch on Amy's question there. Like what are you guys doing to help educate your folks in electrical safety?
Sure. Most homeowners are unaware of their electrical. Let's face it, it's hidden in the walls. It just works. They have no idea what's going on within the home or outside the home. And so we have to do a lot of educating, and a lot of ours are educating them also on problems that occur in other homes that maybe they haven't experienced yet. I must say educating is really a large part of our business. We talked about it this morning at a meeting. What more information can we provide? I mean, we educate by asking questions the same way. One of our questions we kind of like is, if you had an electrical hazard in your facility, wouldn't you want to know about it? Or if you had an electrical hazard in your home, wouldn't you want to know about it? So I like that kind of a question to the customers too, is to get their mind thinking that really I'm thinking of dollars or something else when I should be thinking of the real resolution to the problem I have at hand, or a way to make what I have better. So
yeah. And as I've gotten to know you, your team, and processes of what you do, I kind of view it of like, hey, why don't you start exercising, eat a little healthier, like what can I do to prevent myself from going to the doctor, as opposed to having to take the aspirin after the headache starts type thing, so like you guys are very proactive of like, there could be a tragedy going behind my wall and have no idea about it. Right. From a manufacturing standpoint, like you're talking thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars if that machine goes down. And right. Boy, if you just like gave an ounce of prevention, right? What's the line? Ounce of prevention prevents a pound of how's that go, Kevin? You know
about a cure there.
Something about that. Like you know what I'm talking about. I'll have to, my grandma used to say that. So anyway, right. All right, let's start winding down. I'm going to pull up some examples. So why don't you guys share, Melinda, Marlene, where can we find these little power pedestals in action? I'm going to share my screen, but I think on the last time you mentioned the word the Ritz. I don't know what's did I touch that correctly? How about what's going on this page here?
So the first one on the left is actually the pedestal that you have, Kevin. Mm-hmm. And we often, that is just for simple everyday devices and equipment. So we see our products, and I actually, when I'm out and about, I randomly see them in places that I didn't know they were in, because we mainly, people purchase through distribution. And so we don't always have that connection with the end user and see physically see the locations where they end up. And so that's so cool when we actually do. So we see our pedestals a lot in universities, specifically what this one is being used for. High-rise balconies, it is now code that balconies have power. And now with modern buildings that have, there's a lot of glass there, they can't run that power through the wall. So they've got to get it there somehow. And you'll see, I mentioned food trucks earlier, and there's campgrounds. That one on the upper right that you just scrolled past, charging the block heater, that is one that's popular. So R&L Carriers, they're a huge trucking company, but they have ordered probably at least a couple hundred of our pedestals, this particular model, but at a higher height for their terminals across the country. So they are using it for that purpose.
For their block heaters.
Yes. So, and there's so many different applications. I mean, we already talked from balconies to block heaters to right there in the center there, Curt. That's a high-rise amenities deck. And you see it right there. There's all sorts of different applications. On the lower right there, you see it. It's kind of hard to see, but next to the tree,
right there. Yep.
Down the whole tree line, they have them there, and that's to power lights during the holiday season. So
I live in Arlington Heights. It's a neighboring suburb, and walking through our park one day, I'm like, holy cow, they've got our Pedocs here. They're installed in our neighborhood park, and they use them for the holiday lighting every year. We were at my nephew's graduation at the Air Force Academy, and they've installed them there as well.
Yeah,
It's just fun. Iowa City, my daughter is a student at the University of Iowa, and Iowa City has them installed throughout their parkways.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's great.
Couple comments there. Go Hawkeyes, number one. And check this out. Kevin, you can charge up your jet ski. You have charging there, golf cart. And I hope everybody can see that right there. I love that, Melinda. How there's just a line. Now, hypothetically, if anybody happen to be a baseball fan out there, I'm just asking for a friend. What stadium is that?
That would be Nats Park.
Is that oh well? Too bad Nicole's not here. She's in DC. So all right. That's national. That's Washington Nationals right there. So how cool! Look at all these different examples here, Kevin. You mentioned a food truck. I just absolutely love all this, and just seeing. And Marlene, are you just beaming with pride when you walk into you're at the University of Iowa and you see your product in use?
Yep. It's been really neat.
How man, how. Oh my gosh, I love my job. So
I'd ask you when you're out and about and you see one of them, please snap a picture, send it to us.
Picture and send it back to Melinda. So all right. I know I'm probably keeping everybody. I think Amy, you're probably like Curt. I'm going to get the van of white. Like, hey, Curt, hurry up, right? So
I'm thinking I have to be on the lookout for power pedestals now.
There you go.
Power pedestals. That's right. So, and when we don't, you know what? We can even take pictures of those the ugly versions, and we'll send them to Kevin because Kevin's holding up the bad ones. All right, guys, let's start winding down. So first off, Amy, takeaways, thoughts, feedback. What are you walking away with from this show today? What's your takeaway?
I think the importance of really listening to your customers. It's so amazing to hear you heard something that someone wanted and then you were able to turn it around in 6 months. I think that shows the power of, working locally like you guys do, and then just really listening, especially as a newer business person myself, hearing that is just, I think that's really, really important. And I know, Kevin, you mentioned it too. So
all right, tons of takeaways, innovation, listening to your customer, taking that leap of faith, even when the economy was really not going so great. So kudos to you for that, Marlene. Kevin, my friend, if you recall, I know you're a repeat offender. I asked you who your hero was last time. Do you remember that?
I do.
I believe you shared. Was it Dad?
It is my father. Yes.
And how old's Dad?
He's 94.
Dad, Joe Dickey, right? Do I have that correct? Joe Dickey is 94 years old. God bless him. As we wind down, just share with everybody about Joe Dickey. This guy is just awesome.
Oh, he still works every day. He comes
Every
in
day. He
Yeah.
works every day.
every day. And you know, everyone here appreciates that. And as owners, it's very valuable that your employees see you and get to be friends with you. And we learn that every day. And that's part of being a family business. But it's amazing how many of the young people, even they stop in his office during the day. It's 8 to noon, and then I'm pretty sure there's a nap in the afternoon.
Well,
Perfect.
Good for him. Yeah.
he deserves that nap. Well, hey, big hello to you, your family, and again, how about a big round of applause for Kevin? For
Yeah,
his
thank you.
Thank you,
this
Kevin.
natural expertise. And guys, you know, reach out to Kevin on LinkedIn, check out CurrentSAFE. And so, Kevin, we appreciate you. We salute you. Big hello to your family. Ladies, it's my favorite sisters. Let's wind down. And so, as we come together, if you guys remember, I asked you who your hero was. Marlene, you gave a wonderful answer. I think it was very similar to Kevin's, right? It was dear old dad.
Yeah.
And just love, and you have a great origin story of how the company was founded. Love that. Melinda, do you remember my last question that I asked you? It was a little baseball question. Do you remember that one?
My walk-up song.
The walk-up song. So I asked you guys what you have a great memory. So I'm not going to go there today. So Kevin, I last question when Nicole and I were there. I said, "What's your walk-up song?" And I was it AC/DC.
Yes.
AC/DC. Yeah, she gave me an AC/DC song. So
Dynamite, yeah.
I'm going to close out with this. I asked you guys who your hero was. You gave me your walk-up song. So how about this? Looking forward to the future. We're coming like fourth quarter starts on Monday. We're coming into the fourth quarter. We're going to be, believe it or not, starting a new year around the corner. Looking out ahead, who or what is your inspiration moving forward? Who or what is your inspiration moving forward? Miss Melinda, how do you answer that question?
Wow. I would say I'm going to continue to stay personal with it. Heroes, dad, and my mom as inspiration. You know, Kevin, with your father at his age and still plugging away. Our mom is 86 and she's gardening and cooking and driving herself, you know, to the store. And so
I'm dittoing that answer.
Yeah.
So I was coming at you next, Marlene. So same, what's mom's name?
Maria.
Maria. All right. So we've got Maria and Joe are our inspiration moving forward. So guys, we're going to close things out. First off, how about a round of applause for everybody on the stage here today? Melinda, Marlene, thank you guys. Amy, you absolutely crushed it today, my friend. So I just want to thank you guys. Lastly, Melinda, IMEC, let's give a shout out to IMEC.
Absolutely.
Your thoughts on our friends at IMEC? Let's go there as we close out.
Oh, absolutely. Curt, Amy, and the whole team, Nicole, Jason, Teresa, and all been wonderful. You have opened our eyes to a lot of opportunities. And not only that, is you've set goals and a plan, and you're helping us to achieve it. So bottom of our heart, thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
A pleasure to work with you. The follow-up is incredible, and it's just been a great experience.
We really appreciate it all. Thank you so much.
Well, Marlene, I'll give your answer. Ditto right back at you. We appreciate we salute our friends at IMEC. And again, if you guys are coming to us from a different state, that is the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. The acronym is MEP. There's an MEP near you. So if you are a manufacturer, reach out to me. I will get you connected to your local MEP. So guys, we're going to close out today. Big thank you to everybody here. Thank you for joining us. If you caught us on replay, again, connect with these guys on LinkedIn, check out their websites, learn more about them. Tons of inspiration here. God bless everybody, and we will see you on our next program. Guys, hang out 1 second. I'm going to close this out, and we'll see you next time. We got a show on Friday.